What's going on, guys? It is Royalty Crypto here, and welcome back to my channel. Well, today I don't think I have a choice but to talk about the insane market crash from yesterday and kind of just be your guys' crypto slash Pepe therapist because I think everybody needs it at the end of the day. But yeah, without further ado, let's just briefly talk about Pepe here. I also want to talk about the macro and just pretty much the entire market. So Pepe is currently the 36th most valuable Pepe or crypto coin per market cap. As you can see here, we are trading just under a $3 billion market cap. So we are still down quite a bit from what we were at the highs of yesterday, but we're still in a good spot. I mean, a $3 billion market cap for a meme coin is absolutely fantastic. As you can see here, we are down 17.5% in the past 24 hours and nearly 27% in the past 7 days. Our 24-hour trading volume is looking absolutely amazing at $2 billion. And let's just take a look at the chart for a moment here. So this is the past month. As you can see, we have taken quite a significant drop here. But when cryptos like Pepe drop this significantly, it presents opportunities, and I believe, not financial advice, that this is a fantastic place to buy. In fact, I was able to actually buy quite a bit of Pepe yesterday at 505. So I'm already up pretty significantly on that trade, and thankfully I was able to really catch close to the bottom on Pepe. Not quite, but close. And I do plan on continuing to accumulate as long as we're around these prices. So I still believe that Pepe could get to as high as a $50 billion market cap by the end of this cycle, which is about a 16x from here. I don't think anything has changed with that. In fact, yesterday's drop is actually somewhat bullish if you think about it. We cleared out a lot of the high leveraged long traders, which really just paves the way for us to be able to finally go higher. Because whenever there's significant amounts of long traders, the whales and the market manipulators are trying to purposely drive the price down to liquidate those people for their own gain. All right, so I do want to talk about something that Anthony Popliano tweeted because I do believe this is incredibly accurate. So he said, if you were bullish on Bitcoin and stocks 2 days ago, you should be even more bullish now. True. None of the fundamentals changed in the last 48 hours. Also true. We simply got a healthy reset that wiped out the excess leverage in the system. Now the market is cleared to go higher. Yes, I 100% agree with that. This man speaks the truth. He really does. So let's talk about really what caused this market to drop yesterday and why it's incredibly irrational. So the headline that started this drop yesterday was Trump says U.S. will impose additional 100% tariffs on Chinese goods in November as trade war escalates. So as far as I'm aware, this is only a threat at the moment. This isn't even guaranteed. There was also rumors that he was going to cancel his meeting with the Chinese leaders in 2 weeks. However, he then posted a couple hours later that the meetings were not canceled. So guys, this was an overreaction in my opinion. We've already had these tariff fears. I don't understand why people still care so much. And I don't think people do care that much. Let me explain why. So I do believe that this headline did cause the initial drop, right? But I also believe that this headline is what whales and market manipulators wanted to see to be able to liquidate all of these long traders, because people got incredibly bullish on Bitcoin over the past 2 weeks or week or so, and they started betting massively on leveraged trades, so not even their own money, that Bitcoin was going to continue here. And this now presented a massive opportunity for these people that manipulate these markets like exchanges and whales to go ahead and liquidate them all and drive the price down significantly. So although you might think this headline of Trump's tariffs for the 100th millionth time is what caused this drop, but in reality it was just we needed to flush out this liquidity, and that's exactly what we did. As you can see now, there's really no more liquidity down here to liquidate. There's actually significantly more liquidity to the upside with the short traders, and I believe that we will liquidate them too, and that will cause a short squeeze that will send us to probably close to $130,000 on Bitcoin. So guys, I am incredibly bullish right now, and I am buying. One thing I did forget to talk about, and I do want to mention this real quick, is a couple different indicators on the market. As you can see here, the fear and greed index has dropped down to a 35, which is back into fear. Personally, guys, whenever this is in fear, and especially extreme fear, I always buy. You always want to do the opposite of what the market is telling you to do. Whenever you don't feel comfortable buying and you feel like crypto is over and it's never going to come back, that's when you buy. Like seriously, that's the only way you can make money in these markets. The altcoin season indicator back down to a 33, so we are back in Bitcoin season. If you were watching my videos in the past couple of weeks, I did predict that this was going to happen. However, I didn't expect it to happen like this. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that I expected a dip like that, because I didn't. But I do think this is normal. I expect that we need to have more of a Bitcoin season before we can really get that altcoin season. So if you're holding Pepe and really any meme coin, you need to be rooting for Bitcoin to break new all-time highs, because that's the fuel that we need to really spark these altcoins. The last thing I want to talk about is the average crypto RSI. I've mentioned this in past videos before too. Whenever the crypto RSI is oversold, that is when you buy. It's that simple. I mean, like, people like to make these markets just incredibly complicated, but it's really not at the end of the day. Whenever something is oversold on the RSI, it's typically a good time to buy, or at least start buying. I'm not saying you need to just dump all your money in at these prices. But yeah, that's a good sign. We're oversold. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the FedWatch CME group, which is what predicts FOMC markets. So yesterday, I was actually driving home from Arizona during all of that insane liquidation period. And honestly, I didn't even realize like what people were so scared of. When I saw that it was the tariff stuff, I was like, oh, okay, that's quite literally nothing to be scared of. When I saw my portfolio was dipping 20%, I was like, holy shit, like Jerome Powell must have just announced that he's not going to cut rates for the next year or something crazy. But guys, that's not the case. The October meeting, which is coming up in like 3 weeks or so, or 2 weeks or something, we have a 98% chance of a rate cut now. This is up significantly over the past few days. I believe 3 days ago we were at a 92% chance. This is what really matters, guys. Markets are typically driven by business cycles, and if we continue to cut rates, that means that we're going into a pro-business cycle, which is incredibly bullish for risk on assets for so many different reasons. And let's go ahead and take a look at the December meeting. Guys, this is insanely bullish. I hope you realize this. Just 3 days ago, we only had an 80% chance, which, I mean, still, it's very significant likelihood. But now we have a 92% chance of seeing 2 rate cuts this year. Basically a lock. I mean, guys, this is what we need to be focusing on. Not the crazy liquidations and Trump tariffs and all that. All that's pretty much irrelevant. It's not irrelevant, but this is much more important for the mid to long term. All right, and then let's just take a look at the Bitcoin price briefly here. So yeah, I don't even think it registered on this chart, but I believe we got as low as like $102,000 yesterday, which is just insane to think. But we are all the way back up to 112,000 now. And I do believe that we will probably see somewhat of a V-shaped recovery, most likely starting at the beginning of next week, back up to these levels. And this could be exactly what we need to finally break above 125 and potentially even 130 on Bitcoin. So yeah, I'm very bullish. Also, Ethereum is giving us yet another amazing buying opportunity at $3,800. Pretty much the same thing. If Bitcoin goes to retest all-time highs, I believe that Ethereum will too. And again, maybe this is finally going to be the pump that finally gets us above Ethereum all-time highs that a lot of you have been waiting almost 4 years for now at this point. So yeah, guys, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. I think if you were to take anything from this video, just take the fact that you should be bullish here. Don't worry about that insanely scary looking dump yesterday, because it really was just mostly long traders being liquidated, and nothing has changed in the macro. And nothing should change the fact that Bitcoin and Ethereum and really the entire altcoin market is bullish. So that's exactly what I plan to do. I'm going to keep buying. And if we keep dipping, I'm going to keep buying. And that's really all you can do in these markets. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I will see you most likely tomorrow. Peace.